Hi everyone, welcome back to Rogue Trader. We're here, just about to leave the Shadow Quarters and got a couple of things to do. Go to the Liege first, tell them we've cleaned out the ANVers. See if he says anything in response to that. Then we can leave there and go to search around the atrium and talk to Hieronymous Deloroso. And then head back to the ship, I think. We can't go into the quarantine zone yet. Okay, same thing as before. Upon noticing Cabello, Vladaym quickly assumes a board expression. Carefully, without making any sudden movements, he wipes his glasses and, as if absent-mindedly, puts a hand under the table. What's happening in the Shadow Quarters? Why is there a quarantine? Oh, that, he grimaces. Who knows? Could be an actual epidemic, or perhaps the two families that started it all just came down with food poisoning at the same time. We're on a space station. The best solution here is to isolate the area and wait for the problem to resolve itself. There's no heretic one here. I wish to help the people in the quarantine zone. I'll have medicine delivered to them from my ship. I can't bar you from doing that. I can't help but note that's not the wisest course of action, with all due respect, your lordship. I did what you cannot. I found and neutralized the ANVers agitator-in-chief. That is truly an outstanding accomplishment, your lordship. Footfall can now rest easy, at least until the next mad hoodlum makes himself known. A man who introduced himself as a servant of House Corda asked to have a word with me, and then, imagine the odds, someone blew his brains out. Bladedancer does not look surprised. The ANVers again, I presume. These anarchical degenerates don't care about who they shoot, be it my servants, yours, or those an employee of House Corda. I suspect that this agent wished to negotiate a deal that would have you refrain from hindering Incendia Corda's efforts to strangle us with the threat of hunger and demand our obedience. If so, I don't believe I'll be mourning the man's passing very long. There is a certain charm to the bloody mayhem that reigns on this football. I do hope that, should our partnership go smoothly, I'll be able to contain this bloody mayhem, as you put it, on Footfall's lower levels, where its charm can continue to bring joy without interrupting your lordship's conversations with gunfire. Oh, damn. Click the wrong thing. Okay. 26. Can't do anything yet. There's nothing for a long time here, so bladed boots aren't that brilliant, are they? Oh, it's not too bad, I guess. It's hitting an opening. I'll give it the one with the dodge, haven't I, though? No, I'll wait. There's nothing totally pressing at the moment, too. As in nothing I can immediately make use of. Let's just check what Cabela is wearing on her feet, actually. Yeah, plus 20 dodge. And that becomes lethality. Because of the assassin. Archetypes. Assassins. Let's seek the opening. Doesn't say anything about lethality here. A specific assassin parameter that is equal to dodge or dodge reduction, whichever is higher. That's killing edge. Dodge reduction is based on attacker's perception. For ranged attacker's perception plus agility divided by 2 for melee. So what is it? Perception and agility divided by 2 for melee. $30 plus 40, 70. Okay, she's got 70 dodge reduction. It says 30 here. Unless it's $30 plus 80, then divided by 2. Which should be 55. Neither of which is 30. Or maybe it's just showing for ranged. And not for melee. Okay, let's go to the atrium now. Here's where the chapel is. What's wrong with you people? You don't even care, do you? You want to grow fat on the Legion stores while the station starves? Is this new? Shut up. One more time for clarity. Shut up. I thought we saw that interaction before, no? Someone's running back.
I always have a backup plan.
Aha, goods. Note from the lantern cache. You're on the right path, Seeker. Remember the place. A small key, large windows. What's the other one? Cache in the old bridge. Right. I think that's in the shadow quarter though, isn't it? I was looking at a bridge and it said it was empty. Let's go and talk to Deloroso anyway. There he is.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
This is the where we finally get the what's it called? When we do the 2 cache quests. We talked to that cogitator there. Your request has been fulfilled. The cultist den in the shadow quarters has been cleared out. A grim smile brightens his features. He makes a sign of the Aquila. I hope that their suffering was commensurate with their deeds. Some reputation and some experience. I'll take my leave. See if I can interact with this at the moment. No.
Keep your wits about you.
So where was the bridge? It's not down here, is it? No. It's not over there, that's where the where the funeral was. Let's go to the rest of Footfall. So I'll look at the shadow quarters again. Dreams and stories. I do remember seeing something like there's a crumbling piece of stonework with a hole in it, and when we looked at it, it says whatever was in the cache was missing. On the way to the warehouse. What's this? Dreams and stories then? Small key and large windows. Yeah. I think it was up here.
Money to be made?
It was up here somewhere. Yeah, here. I was right. A small nook in the stone is empty apart from the dust and a few scraps of paper. There's evidence that the cache once had a small door covering it and a locking mechanism. The crumpled note only has its small fragment of text left. You're on the right path, Seeker. The other caches. Okay, so that's the two caches. Can't get into here yet. Still. So let's go back to the dock, where I've just been. Backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Because I didn't check there when I was in the shadow quarters before going to the Liege. Now this is a small dock by the window or something, doesn't it? Of quests. A small key and large windows. Aha, something there in the column. Note from the cache by the dock windows. The answer is close, Seeker. Remember the word, realizing. Remember the place, a tunnel in the shadow of the bridge. A bridge in the shadow of the great statue. The old tunnel in the shadow quarters. Right. Right, that's under quarantine. As well.
I always have a backup plan.
Right, let's go and talk to Opticon 22, see if he's got anything new, or I've got anything to give him. Okay. 35, 26, I can get a plasma pistol. I can get an axe. I'm looking further down to see what is really, really useful. That is. Combat manipulator? Not really. That is. But I just need more profit factor. I don't get medkits. That. I don't use stimulants though. So nothing really. Nothing major anyway. Whereas this is huge. Better arm pen, more damage, and also attacks of opportunity, cause bleeding. Okay, back to the ship.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
And then head off, I think. Argenta wanted to talk. Where is she? Here.
Greetings.
Oh, I haven't talked to her at all, okay. Tell me more about Adeptus Sororitas.
Gladly. There are none more faithful to the God Emperor than my sisters. We fight against his enemies by the will of the Holy Ecclesiarchy. We... I beg your pardon, rogue trader. Here I am talking about what every lesser noble in the Imperium knows. So what exactly are you interested in hearing about?
They say the Adeptus Sororitas are the fiercest in their faith among the warriors of the Imperium. Is it true?
It is. The Sisters of Battle are a fire lit by the God Emperor. They are the echo of his voice that travels through the dark expanses of the universe. We bring his wrath to heretics, mutants, and other enemies of humanity. We protect the faithful from the unholy and unhallowed. Sometimes with words, more often than not with a bolter.
Are all sisters truly as faultless as you say?
Even the novices of the Adeptus Sororitas are drawn from among the most worthy. Those who have taken the vows and become a full-fledged sister are the best of the best, tested by trials of body and spirit. Yes, there have been cases when a sister stumbled or showed weakness, but do not expect to hear a story of depravity or downfall from me. Each such occurrence is a great tragedy for us all. Light cannot bear the smallest speck of darkness within. And thus those who have trespassed or shown weakness of spirit are given a chance at redemption. They are called Sisters Repentia, and may the enemy tremble before her, for nothing can stop a sister of battle who yearns to be cleansed of faults and weakness.
From what I recall, they also don't wear armor, flagellate themselves with chains or flails, and have a melee weapon, and maybe a pistol to go into combat with. So it's more like a suicide one.
Wearing nothing but robes, no armor, eviscerator in hand. Those sisters who have once faltered find repentance on the battlefield. Their lives are seldom long, but a death in the name of purgation is a better fate than to live with a shadow in one's soul.
What order are you from?
Once I had completed my novitiate, I was sent to the Calixian branch of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, assigned to the Order's Pronatus. The Order's mission is vital and noble. The Sisters Pronatus protect great relics of the Imperium. We guard them, preserve them, escort them when they are brought onto the battlefield or presented for pilgrims to venerate. And we seek out the relics that have been lost. Neither a coven of heretics nor the most wicked death world can deter Sisters Pronatus when their goal is to return a piece of the great legacy of the Imperium into the hands of the faithful.
The Order Pronatus is not one of the Order's militant, and yet you are a trained fighter.
Don't let the name deceive you. The Order's militant trains sisters to march onto the battlefield as an army. That does not make sisters who belong to the non-militant orders timid and helpless.
Fair enough.
Both the solace-bringing Sisters Hospitaller and the enlightened Sisters Dialogus know how to greet enemies of humanity. Their dialogue with heretics is usually quite short, with the last word being a bolter discharge. And my order has all the more reason to be known for the martial prowess of its sisters. We are the keepers of the Imperium's relics. What would become of our blessed hero's legacy if the Sisters Pronatus could not protect it?
You said you belonged to the Calixian branch of your order. What brought you to the Koronus Expanse?
The order sent me to Footfall. My undertaking was to assist the local priesthood of Drusians in caring for a sacred reliquary that had been there since the time of Mr. Wayne, the station's founder.
Are there any other members of the Adeptus Sororitas in the Koronus Expanse?
None that I'm aware of, but the Sisterhood's orders are many, and can operate independently of one another, sending their sisters wherever their presence is needed as deemed by the Ecclesiarchy. Perhaps somewhere in the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, may his path be blessed, my sisters perform their duty as we speak. I wish it were so. Even a single evening spent in joint prayer and training would bring me joy.
I have no more questions about the Sisterhood.
Should any more arise, keeping them to yourself would be imprudent. It is a virtue to take an interest in holiness.
Tell me about yourself.
About me? I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to tell about me?
I do like the voice actress for Argenta. Very clear enunciation. And again, they all do. Compared to my enunciation, it's far, far cry. How did you end up on Theodora's ship?
I first came here when I found myself in need of passage from Footfall to a remote planet. But I imagine what interests you is not that first journey, but rather what brought me aboard prior to the pirate attack. That story is complicated. It just so happened that I made a mistake. In a moment of laxity, I was ambushed by the accursed followers of the archenemy. I was badly wounded. Lady Theodora came to my aid and brought me aboard her ship, while her crew attended to me in my weakened state. It all happened not too long ago. I'd barely recovered from my wounds when the pirates struck. Truly, the servants of evil know no rest. There is no place where we can be safe from their machinations.
What happened to the people who wounded you? Did Theodora's men eliminate them?
Sadly, they did not. Lady Theodora was in a hurry and chose not to stay on the planet. Her people took me to a ship while I was unconscious, and when I came to my senses, we were already flying away. How I pray to come face to face with those heretics once more, and it's bound to happen someday.
You mentioned making a mistake.
It happens even to the best of us. My mistakes are my burden to bear. I'll find a way to atone for them.
Bit of a sore point there, I think. Where did this happen?
On one of the recently discovered planets in the Expanse. No one suspected that it had already been tainted by the filth of heresy. Had I known it beforehand, of course I would have been on my guard.
We could go to that planet and deal with the Chaos Worshippers.
The path to that planet was lost. All the knowledge is gone, along with the previous navigator. It would take immense effort and resources to rediscover the route. The heir to the von Valanci's protectorate must have plenty of other issues to deal with right now. Perhaps later, when the skies above our heads have cleared.
What was it like traveling on Theodora's ship?
I hadn't been here that long. Just one journey from Footfall, and the other journey, the majority of which I spent in the confines of the medbay. I can't tell you much about the first voyage. I was more focused on prayers and ruminations than on the people around me, or the journey itself. During the last journey, Seneschal Viserion stood out for me. He came by several times to ask about my health. He's an honorable man and a loyal servant of the Imperium. I think he is as meticulous in his inspections of the logistics systems as he is in his inquiries about the health of the occasional sister of battle aboard the ship. But not all of Theodora's people have earned my trust. You know who I'm talking about. There is no place for Adira Tlas among the God Emperor's faithful. I'm surprised she wasn't in league with the pirates. And I'm equally surprised by how deep heresy and treason run in this place. I'm glad we all made it through that dark hour. May the day that follows be bright.
What, like a new dawn? We'll see what I can do for you.
As you wish.
What is it that keeps you in my retinue?
This ship was targeted by heretical pirates, which means that my presence here and the assistance I provide to you are my sacred duty. Sooner or later, I will likely have to return to Footfall to protect its reliquary. But for now, I wish to remain a part of the rogue trader's crew.
I enjoy your company, Argenta. I hope that you remain in the crew and that this ship becomes your home.
Those are very courteous words, rogue trader. Thank you, both for your words and your hospitality.
She gives you another, somewhat puzzled look. I'm waiting for you to tell me about your past and explain the strange words of that cultist on Footfall.
Yes, I'm ready. I would ask only one thing of you, rogue trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the sacred warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
You'll see this a lot on talking with the companions. There'll be a voiced acted bit on the bridge, usually. And then they'll take you off to a side room, which isn't voice acted. And now you have to listen to me. Unless it's been changed in the recent DLC patch. Argenta drops to her knees, her hands making signs of the Aquila. Her eyes are locked on the sweeping signature of the warrant. A seemingly mundane thing, a mere flourish on a piece of paper. Unless one knows whose hand left that mark and whose blood is on that paper. If thou seest a flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest a fall of mine, burn me. With flames of fury and righteousness. But if thou seest the light in me, grace me. If thou hearest this plea of mine, bless me. With wrath of fury and of righteousness. Argenta's voice is sonorous, as if made for singing hymns and prayers. But right now she cannot seem to catch her breath, so overwhelmed with emotion is she. It's just a big piece of paper with a signature on it. For I breathe by the will of thine, for I live by the law of thine. I carry thy word, O Emperor. I bring solace to the servants of thine, and ruin to foes of thine, a faith of terror and righteousness. Upon finishing, she closes her eyes, remains silent for a long time with her head raised high. Slowly, like the first licks of flame in a campfire, a smile blossoms on her lips. When Argenta finally opens her eyes, they are alight with an uncanny resolution. Rogue trader, we need to talk, or rather, I need to tell you something, the truth. The truth about how I ended up on Theodore von Valancius's ship, and about the cultists we encountered on Footfall. I'm listening. Please understand, I couldn't trust you before. I'll tell you my story and you'll see why. She pauses. I'll start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. Upon arriving in the Expanse and on Footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment. I wasn't needed. The reliquary I had been assigned to safeguard was already well protected by Reverend Hieronymus' mission, and no one was even trying to defile it, for all its lawlessness. Footfall respects the worship of the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodora, head of your dynasty, appeared. She became an agent of divine will in a way. Argenta falters, searching for the words. It was from her that I learned about a planet recently discovered by her scouts, Salis Prime. For Rogue Trader, the planet was of little interest, a feral world away from the convenient warp routes, but for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. I've never even heard of such a planet. Does it belong to the von Valancius dynasty? Yes. Now the planet is yours by right. But it's not as simple as that. The warp route leading to it was lost. I'll explain in due time. May I continue? Please do. The description of Salis Prime was familiar to me. It seemed very similar to a world for an ancient legend. The legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Her voice grows reverent. Argenta, the living saint. She is my patroness. The order named me after her. She died millennia ago, when heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. But even those blasphemers cannot touch Argenta's ashes or a holy relic, the One Star. For the fallen ship which now served as the resting place for the saints' remains would only allow the truly righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt when this flash of insight came upon me. The world where Saint Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one knew its actual whereabouts, and suddenly, I, myself named after the saint, come across this information. I realized at that moment that it was important that I must journey to the planet and find the ship. And so I asked the Reverend Hieronymous to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. I boarded Theodora's ship and demanded passage to the newly discovered planet Salis Prime. Why did you keep your supposition from Reverend Hieronymus? Surely he could have helped you with the search for the ship and the saint's remains. I couldn't just come out and tell him. It was important revealed to me personally, can't you see? I told Reverend Hieronymus the honest truth, that was going on a personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. It really was a pilgrimage. It was as if Saint Argenta herself had shown me the way, commanding me to undertake this trial. If I had found the ship and set foot on its decks, if I had laid my hand on her remains and relic, it would have been a sign that I had truly been blessed with the saint's favour. Your actions were driven by hubris, Argenta, as if you wanted to keep your discovery all to yourself. She bites her lip. You suspect me of unworthy urges, but I will accept this reproach and try my best to think on it. The sisters know the meaning of humility. Oops, perhaps that's the wrong one. I imagine Theodora was thrilled with the prospect. Lady Theodora lent her assistance. It was her intention to visit the newly discovered world. She took me with her. You mentioned something called the One Star. What is it? Apologies, I got so carried away I forgot to explain. The One Star is the relic kept by Saint Argenta. I belong to the Order Pronatus, and we attach particular significance to holy relics. The One Star is one of the lost relics of the past, so mysterious that no one even knows what it is exactly. Argenta's hagiography at times calls it a banner, or a set of armour, or a blessed chainsword. One thing is certain, it was a beacon of righteousness and it was lost with Argenta's death. What happened next? Defeat, Argenta says bitterly. The ship's augurs failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this, though. According to legend, the ship can conceal itself from the naked eye, and only a pilgrim guided by pure of heart can find it. What I didn't expect was an ambush waiting for us on the planet. I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I knew Saint Argenta's hagiography by heart. I knew all the legends about her. I followed their obscure clues, their descriptions of mountains and rivers from millennia-old tales, and I was certain that I found the way to the ship, and that's when we were attacked. The words we heard in the Heretic shrine on Footfall, something about ways, doors, please addressed to some lord, the edge of daybreak. Argenta is shaken with disgust. They were the same words as those spoken by the cultists who attacked us on Salis Prime. My whole unit perished. All those honest, brave people had led the search for the relic. It was only by a miracle that I didn't perish along with them. I didn't connect these events at first. The cultists on Footfall, the cultists on Salis Prime, the cultists attacking the ship, and Conrad's betrayal. What if these are all links in the same chain? What if long since infiltrated the ranks of the von Valancia servants? What if I led those heretics to the sacred planet with my search? No need to blame yourself. If the heretics really had wormed their way into the von Valancia's ranks by then, they would have found the planet, even without you going there. I doubt it. No one except me was particularly interested in the planet. Conrad, on the other hand, he sympathized with me when I first came aboard. He helped me arrange an audience with Theodora, supported me in my effort to visit the planet. I never told him plainly why I wanted to go there, but I imagine that vulture must have figured out that it was something important, something related to the holy faith of the Imperium. And what could delight a heretic more than defiling a relic? Sadly, the one who might have the answers, Conrad, escaped. Oh yes, I sincerely hope that we will meet him again. That serpent needs to answer a few questions before he is plunged into cleansing flame. So how did you manage to escape from the cultists? She hangs her head. Theodora's people received the distress call, came to my rescue and brought me aboard the ship. I barely remember what happened. When they arrived, I was already severely wounded, fighting back with whatever remained of my strength. I think I shouted that we had to go after them, but they didn't listen. They took me to the shuttle and pulled out. After that, it's all blackness. When I came to, we were already in the middle of a warp jump. Theodora had urgent matters to take care of, and she decided that she could clear out the planet at a later time. And that's why you didn't trust me before, correct? Yes, Rogue Trader. Argenta looks you in the eye. I saw in my own eyes how a member of your family showed his true colours as a servant of the archenemy. I had already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of cultists. I was afraid of another betrayal. I couldn't be forthright with you, and so I studied you, looking for seeds of corruption, or the light of righteousness. And what did you find? A man who stood shoulder to shoulder with me and helped eradicate the cultists on Footfall. She smiles, as if reminiscent about a pleasant evening spent in company friends rather than a bloody battle. She's an utter sociopath. Although my opinion of you started to change even before then, back when you agreed to talk to the orphans at my request, a leader who is willing to honour those who laid down their lives for them and take care of their children is a leader who inspires trust. The way you acted in that moment. Do you remember? There was a young man whose grief and confusion had driven him to insolence. You found the words that could comfort him. You didn't punish him. You didn't scare him with a show of austerity. You even admitted that you're not all-powerful. It surprised me. I even saw it as a weakness at first. But after giving it some thought, I saw wisdom in it. The way you openly addressed a thoughtless boy does you credit, Rogue Trader. So just to clarify, you were wounded, so you never found St. Argenta's ship, is that right? Yes. I rushed to Theodora's the moment I could walk again, and I insisted on going back to the Salis Prime to defend the relic from the heretics, but was told that the warp had destroyed the old route to the planet, and that plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort. As if there could be anything more important than protecting the faith and hunting down servants of the archenemy. In any event, the route was lost, and all knowledge of it died in the attack on the ship along with the old navigator. But now we have a new lead, the data that we collected in the cultist shrine of Footfall. I don't care what the reprobate we executed said, there must be a way to track them down. Tell me, Rogue Trader, will you help me in this undertaking? Will you help me find this great relic and return it to the people of the Imperium? If it's important to you, I will help. Argenta walks up and places her hand on your shoulder. So be it, Rogue Trader. As I stand here before the warrant, the embodiment of the Emperor's will marked by his own hand. I will vow that I will not relent until the holy relics be returned and the heretics punished. And may the light be with us both on this path. So what she said there about the conversation I had at the beginning of this scene, where I told her it was hubris, that seems like it's a choice. And the choice with the orphans right at the very beginning, that seems like a choice. And I know there's like 3 choices you can make for her. Depends how her quest ends up. Now, when I did my Iconoclast run, you can look for it in the playlist on my YouTube channel. I think we got the best ending because she got the power armor. Whereas this one, I don't know. I don't know, she might not be allowed in to the ship. Okay, I could talk to Jai. That's going to be a long talk as well. Let's just hit the road, Jack. Okay, the map. Wow, this is speedy. This is a lot faster than previously. Got Koronus, Janus, Kiala Gamma, and where's the other one? Or Foulstone, it's around here, but it's not really ours. "42 minutes. That's the moor. Soto's tomb, Avioris. Got the Soto's tomb. Ooh, so safe. Lord Captain, a ship's senior officer requests an audience with you. They are humbly awaiting you on the bridge. Soon I'll get a notice that the quarantine zone has been lifted. I think. Heinrich Montag, Lord Captain, if I may request your attention for a moment, I must report a series of highly dangerous violations have taken place in the fuel compartment. The Master at Arms has ignored my demands. I am thus forced to appeal directly to you. The fuelers have found a sect of some kind. This group practices fire worship of the Emperor, has been burning promethium near the fuel lines. I beg you to stop this madness before we all go up in flames. Jocasta Sarabak. I should point out there have been no incidents in the fuel compartment so far, and that the beliefs of this sect do not affect the obedience of the workers or the efficiency in any way. All assemblies are conducted strictly after hours with permissions of their superiors. However, if you find their practices unacceptable, report a stop to them immediately. Does the ecclesiarchy recognize this cult, or is it considered heretical? This matter is beyond my purview, but Confessor Adelbart be the judge of such business. A plump, rosy-cheeked old man steps forward, his voice deep and sonorous. The Emperor protects your lordship. I can assure you that there is no heresy festering in the fuel compartment. The sect of the fire prophecies have been tested for purity, are found to be in accordance with their creed. The leader calls himself the Oracle of Fire, is devout and submissive to his servants. They do not twist the sacred teachings, and as for their chosen forms of worship, they are neither rare nor remarkable. Many such minor cults exist in the Imperium, with the full approval of the ecclesiarchy. Does this Oracle of Fire really make prophecies? At least he and his flock believe that the Emperor reveals glimpses of this possible future to him in the sacred flame. Occasionally his visions do come true, or so his followers convince themselves. We do not know whether the grace of the God Emperor truly lies upon him, or if he is merely a charlatan. or perhaps a blissful lunatic, or from Zachary Weiss, a wicked rogue who possesses psychic power not tampered by his will. A cloaking voice interrupts the confessor's word. Lord Captain, as choir master of the astropathic choir, I must be watchful of any threats to the ship's safety originating from the Imperium. I have heard rumours about this oracle. I've sent my adepts to see him. They assert that the man is a Psyker. This man who speaks to the warp is a danger to himself and to the entire vessel. Both law and common sense dictate that he should be thrown into a holding cell, tranquilized, and handed over to the Inquisition to be sent to Holy Terror. Alternatively, you may dispose of him in some other way. They were burning my Prometheum. The amount of residue accumulated in the drainage tanks was so laughably small that it was not even worth recording. If there were any real misappropriation of the ship's resources happening here, I would have really punished those involved, Lord Captain. The last sentence carries a faint note of regret. She's just a sociopath as well. Oh, yeah, more of a psychopath. We stand ready to carry out any order. If my Infernus Master says there are dangers to the ship, then I'm convinced. Disperse the troublemakers. Yes, Lord Captain. By tomorrow this cult will be forgotten, never to be mentioned again. Really? That was it? That's new. I didn't get that last time. Then again, these are all new persona gratas. Jai. Don't know what to do with you yet. Right. You've got that thunder hammer. Is this one better? No. Add to cargo. Greater sword. Nope. Add to cargo. Staffs. Right then, Jai. We want the holster. Oh, Darby's chainsword. Oh, that's nice. It's not good for you. That's not bad. That's not good for you. Possibly. Until I find something better. What we got? Hit and crit. Maybe. There's only fireworks outside. Law Imperium. You've got 116. Oh my god. Grenadier's gloves. You don't throw that. Don't have attacks of opportunity. Yes, perhaps that. What's this one? No. So that or that. So put these on. And cloaks. You've got plus 10 dodge. Or immune to burning. Melee attack. Grenadier. Can't wear it. Plus 5 fellowship. For every enemy in 2 cell radius. Maybe. You got the armored body glove here. But that one's just better. Sin skin. Plus 5% dodge if the agility is more than 40. So 0, 42, 95, so 137. 132. Just not as good. Parry. Weapons. Okay, you've got pistols, so you don't have plasma yet. Oh, damn it. You've got shuriken pistol, and splinter pistol. Right, let's put that there, and that there for the moment then. And they're going to have to level you up. Right, I'll pause and level them up, and I'll show you what I've done. See you in a sec. Okay, so respect Joy. She's an officer. Here we have seasoned initiative, which is not as good as it used to be, but whatever. Fellowship, plasma weapon proficiency, command and voice. That's the range of her abilities. Increased by 3, and voice command is increased by +6. More fellowship, area of authority, which is one of the best. Plasma weapon expert. Lead by example. Whenever the officer uses 2 officer archetype abilities that do not grant an extra turn in 1 round, the officer gains stand the witness effect, and the next archetype ability that does not grant an extra turn will also affect the officer. So it's good to do the buffs and either finish with voice command or area of authority on someone, and she'll get it as well for free. Commerce, finest hour again. Persuasion, ballistic skill, focus. When using an ability on an ally, the ally gains a bonus to the perception and ballistic skill equal to the resolve divided by 2. These bonuses stack, but half the stacks are lost at the end of the turn. So that can go further and further and further. Slowly snowball up. More ballistic skill. Take aim. The target's next attack will ignore cover and have double the effective distance. Additionally, the damage from this attack cannot be reduced below 48% for any reason, and it will ignore the enemy dodge if they're under the voice of command. Extra 10% dodge for herself, extra resolve for herself, because that comes in with the which one is it? Lead by example. No, I just looked at it. Something around here. Focus, yeah. More persuasion, willpower, stronger together, which is fellowship for her, and again finest hour. And then into Master Tactician, same as Argenta, further, and in Hiver's Footsteps. Whenever the Master Tactician's ally uses an act, heroic act, the Master Tactician gains 5 fellowship. Whenever the ally uses a desperate measure, they gain 5 toughness. These bonuses stack and last until the end of combat. So she'll be getting more and more fellowship, which is her main stat, followed by ballistic skill and willpower, and agility for dodge. So it's modified this a bit, but it's good. It will do. And she is iconoclastic. So let me just... That's all... all officer stuff and all Master Tactician stuff down here. Okay. Alright, we're nearly level 19. Save that. Oh, and now I can give her... because I respect her, she can now use these. These plasma pistols haven't got the rate of fire. Like 7, 6, 1, 6. But bigger damage. So this is dodge reduction of 30, 15 to 25. I should just do that and then look at this. So that is brilliant. 60% armor penetration, dodge reduction 30. Range of 6 though, quite And it's a big beam. Quite short range compared to this. But it is single shot. So I'll swap that over for that. And now look at this compared to the shotgun pistol and the splinter pistol. Both the shuriken and the splinter pistol have much better armor penetration and recoil, and roughly the same damage. The splinter pistol is also toxic, and the range is all about the same. So it's not too bad. So that's Jai. I don't know if there's anything else to give her. Might as well do that because nobody else is wearing it. Okay, so now that's done, I'll end this episode here. Thanks for watching, everyone. Next we can actually go down to a planet and do something that's not just football. Until then, bye for now.